The government thinks that for some odd reason, it can stop the housing market from crashing.
That's what we need. We need ideas.
They think if they control the ups and downs and control interest rates and they try to time the market, they can make the housing market land on its feet like a cat falling out of a tree. But they are mistaken. Everyone knows once the government gets into a situation when they're going to quote unquote lead you in the right direction, run the other direction. My name is Orlando and welcome to the channel. We're gonna jump into this ASAP because it's just getting crazy, guys, out here. It says the housing market has fed whiplash. It doesn't have to be this way. Mortgage rates spiked to a 13-year high in June after the Fed tightened its monetary policy. Monthly mortgage payments have surged nearly 50% since last year. And once again, if you watch my videos before, you know I talked about this months and months and months ago about how things are going to increase. We have mortgage rates increasing because the Fed increased. We have things like taxes and insurance, which are normally bundled into your mortgage. So things are going up, up, and up. And people are starting to see now, people are going ahead and buying these high priced homes currently right now. And they're saying, wait a minute.
Who are you?
I thought I was going to be paying less than rent. And then they get their first statement and it's like, oh, we forgot to tell you with this new increase of purchase, taxes are going to be a little bit higher, just a smidgen 20 to 30% higher.
And then, oh, by the way, too, insurance, yeah, we can't really bump it up now, but hey, get ready for next year's increase because it costs so much more to build this house again. Oh, but by the way, houses, the value won't go up, but the materials for the house go up.
How does that work? Make that make sense to me. And we're starting to see individuals have to deal with that, putting a big chill on the housing market. As a result, builders are retreating. You hear that, guys? Builders are retreating. Builders are saying no more. I don't know what's going to happen with this housing market. You think I'm going to get debt that's going to continue to go up and then build houses that probably will go down and I'm going to be left on the hook with this? No. Hey, I will take what was happening at the beginning of this year, but I won't take what's going to happen in the future. No way. I'm not going to be left on the hook for that. You think I'm going to do that? Nah. Which means the U.S. will go another year with low inventory from, home construction. When we are already facing housing shortage of 4 million units, at this rate, it'll be hard to imagine that home construction will ever catch up to demand. Well, that may be true. I'm not going to even fight that fact. But the fact is inventory will continue to go up because people will not want to purchase. No one's going to want to purchase a home that is unaffordable. You hear that, guys? If the home is unaffordable, why would anyone purchase? That makes no sense. No one wants to buy a home and then all of a sudden it just goes down. It just crashes because of a recession, because of a housing crash. Nobody wants that, right? Nobody wants that. This is what's making the housing market, people standing on the sidelines, deciding to rent versus purchase at this moment. Interest rates have been going up, down, up, down, up, down. It's been this roller coaster. And we are going to get to that to give you the insight of that, exactly what's going on and what you should look at. Some ups and downs are unavoidable features from the housing market. When the economy is doing well, debt is relatively cheap. Homebuyers flock to the housing market. Prices increase sharply and quickly because supply is slow to react to rising demand. Only after prices and profit margins increase do home builders react and start building more. But as soon as increase in interest rates and weakening economy threatens demand of homes, builders pull back. And then you have this cycle that continues. Interest rates go up, builders decide not to build more.
Maybe so, sir. But not today.
Debt is cheap. Now they start building more because people will pay more for homes because their monthly payments are cheaper. So it's this cycle that goes all around. So when it comes to the housing market, most people would say then,
well, Orlando, well, I guess we got it solved. The only thing that we need to do is have the Fed keep interest rates low.
Then I would say, my friend, only if it was that easy. If we keep interest rates low, we will for sure go into a depression. There is just no way that we can continue to have rates this low, or keep rates low as they have been in a situation where we have inflation destroying us, and just say, hey, we're gonna ignore, crazy inflation. We're gonna ignore all of that, right? We're just gonna keep interest rates low so everyone can buy a house cheaply. And then what will happen is a tsunami of destruction in our economy will happen, and homes will be worth nothing, our money will be worth nothing, prices for everything will shoot up through the roof, and no one will be happy. So what is the Fed doing? Well, the Fed decided to come in and say,
we're gonna increase rates, but we're not gonna increase rates so much where, it'll stop people from buying houses. We're just gonna inch the rates up just a little bit to combat this inflation because, hey guys, we just want to let you know, inflation really isn't that bad. Inflation, it's something that we can control. We have it all under control, guys. So we're gonna do these small increases.
Well, how did the market react? So if you take a look at these interest rates, we can see right here, it got all the way up to about 7% at the peak of this graph here. And then it's going down, went up a little bit, down, and going up. So we have this roller coaster effect. So what does this mean? Well, this means that inflation is probably worse than we believe. So I can almost bet you that when the inflation numbers come out, since rates went up from 7 and they're continuing to go down and down and down, that means that the Fed did not increase rates far enough. That means that inflation is, when we get the numbers, it's still going to be bad.
The U.S. economy keeps climbing an inflation mountain and thinking it's reached the peak, only to find the peak is higher and further still. A much higher headline, of course, CPI numbers showing the inflation peak remaining clouded and raising questions about just how high it will go and how much the Fed has to do here.
And that's what that means. And that is a bad thing for us, guys. That is a bad thing because right now we can continue to see individuals still doing price cuts. Sellers are still doing price cuts, but they're doing price cuts at an overpriced value already, or overpriced purchase price already. So, instead of paying $50,000 over, you're paying $30,000 or $20,000. And that is exactly what we're seeing. And what's going to happen with that is you are going to be caught with a lemon. Now, will it appraise? Maybe with all the other high-priced properties in your areas that has had a stair effect, graph that's continuing to go up like a hockey stick, maybe you will get into a house and the appraiser, which we've all seen them do, will continue to give the next and best price for a house in the neighborhood. But the higher you go up, the further you're gonna fall. And that's what's going to happen with the housing market. This appraisal domino market is a house of cards, guys. I'm telling you, you have to understand this. You may get that house, but when the recession hits and the housing crash hits, you won't be saved. You won't. It's just that simple. So yes, right now, can you go in and get a house that's overpriced, or can you go in without as much competition as you did last year or the beginning of this year? Yes, you can, but you're gonna be paying 6.5% interest right now. That's what your mortgage is going to be. And you're gonna be paying overpriced on the house. And you're gonna be paying higher taxes. And you're gonna be paying higher insurance. So are you ready to do that? And here's the thing, guys. We say it all the time on this channel. And if you're new to this channel, 85% of you guys have not subscribed to this channel. What are you doing? Hit that subscribe button for me. We say this all the time on this channel. 2% equals $200,000 of purchase power decrease. So that means that if you were buying a house for $300,000, interest rates increase 2%, that means you can only right now buy a house at $100,000. Now, is that worth it for you? Maybe you were an extremely high earner and you were buying $1 million home. Now, of suddenly, an $800,000 home is in your future. Maybe that doesn't affect you, but I know most people, that type of decrease in buying power will just wipe out your desire to even get a house in this current market. So what do we need to happen? Prices need to become affordable. And for that to happen, guys, the Fed is gonna have to stop trying to time the market. We hear this from all types of investors, including myself. You cannot time the market. And when you try to time the market, it always ends in destruction. And the Fed is no different from this. Who cares if there's a government? They're not going to land on their feet. We're gonna land in a tsunami of decreased values based on a recession or a housing crash on its own. The Fed is fighting high inflation now because its policymakers misstepped and kept interest rates at 0 for too long. So you're telling me the Fed is trying to time the market and trying to figure out, oh, we could do the right thing, but yet they've already made a mistake? Wow. How did that, man? That's true. You're gonna take the government's word that it's going to make everything all right. And
hey guys, don't worry. The housing market, we're gonna make sure we don't have a crash. We are going to make sure there won't be a recession. We got this all under control.
but yet they kept rates at a 0 for too long. Already one mistake. What's 20 more? The Fed only started tightening in March, a full year after Americans began receiving their first doses of the stimulus check. Influx of home buyers taking advantage of low interest rates overheated the housing market, sending home prices up by nearly 40%. We all know the story. If you've been following this channel and if you've been trying to look for a home, we all know the story. Fed gives free money away, stimulates the market, prices, homes skyrocket because cheap debt. We know this. But the point is we're pointing out that the Fed needs to get its nose out of trying to, penny pinch the interest rates so that it could, quote unquote, save the housing market. Fed, let me tell you something. You're not going to save the housing market. This is a cycle that happens all too often. And we're in a cycle where things go down, and things will go down. And let me tell you guys this, there isn't anything the government can do about it. So put your seatbelts on and get ready for the ride. So once again, I hope you got value out of this content, guys. I'm gonna need you to watch this next video here. It will help you learn about this crazy housing market, get into your first rental property. Also check in the description below. I have some useful links there, getting free credit reports. Also join our membership program. I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks.